At Sunday dinner, my wife's sister looked at me and said, "Honestly, you're so fortunate she settled for a guy like you." My wife laughed. I just smiled and replied, "You know what? You're right." Then I got up, drove to my attorney's office, and came back with divorce papers. The look on my wife's face when she backed up her sister, and I slid those documents across the table, is something I'll never forget. I'm a 35-year-old man, still trying to wrap my head around everything. But I thought I'd write it all out since it's been a wild ride. Sunday dinner at my in-laws' house is a monthly tradition. We've done it for all 6 years of my marriage. Sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes dull, and every now and then it's just irritating. But this time was different. We were all gathered around the table, my wife, her parents, her sister, and her sister's husband. The usual group. My mother-in-law had made pot roast. Conversation was normal, just the usual small talk. Then, the topic shifted to work. My brother-in-law had just landed a promotion at his finance job. Big raise, corner office, the works. Everyone was congratulating him, which was fine. Good for him. Then my wife's sister turned to me. "So, what about you? Still at the same job?" "I work in IT, network administration. I've been with the same company for about 8 years. It's a solid job, pays well, stable, not flashy, but I enjoy it." "Yeah, same place," I said. "Actually, they're expanding my team, so I'll probably be managing a few people soon." She gave me that kind of smile that isn't really a smile. "That's nice. Must be easy staying in one place for so long." My wife stayed quiet. Her sister kept going. With my sister's career taking off, she needs someone steady at home. Someone dependable, you know? My wife is a marketing director. She earns good money. Probably about the same as me. Maybe a bit more. We never really compared because it never mattered. Or at least I thought it didn't. Someone's got to keep things running, I joked, trying to keep things light. Her sister laughed. Exactly. That's what I mean. Honestly, she's so lucky she settled for someone like you. Not everyone can handle being the support system. The room went quiet for a moment. Then my wife laughed, not nervously, but genuinely. I looked at her. She was smiling at her sister, not at me. "He's right, though," my wife said. "Someone has to be the steady one." Her sister nodded, like they were sharing some private joke. "It's good you know your place. Not every man can handle his wife being the main earner." "I'm not the main earner," my wife said quickly. "We make about the same." "For now," her sister replied. "Give it a couple years." My mother-in-law tried to change the subject. "You both have great careers. That's what matters." But I just sat there and something clicked. It wasn't anger, just a sudden clarity. I smiled. "You know what? You're absolutely right." My wife's sister looked satisfied. "See, he gets it." "I do," I said, putting my napkin down. "Excuse me, I need to make a call." I walked outside, got in my car, and just sat there for a minute. 6 years of marriage, and I tried to remember how many times my wife had stood up for me when her sister made comments like that, or when her family made little digs about me not being good enough. I couldn't think of a single time. She always laughed. She always agreed. I pulled out my phone and called my lawyer. Yes, I have a lawyer on retainer, a long story involving my dad's estate. Good guy. Hey, remember those papers we talked about last night? I need them finalized. Can you meet me at your office? I know it's Sunday, but I'll pay you. Here's the thing. Nobody at that table knew. This wasn't the first time. Not even close. This was just the moment I realized I was done pretending not to notice. About a month earlier, my wife and I had a huge argument. She'd said something about me lacking ambition compared to her coworkers' husbands, that I was too comfortable with average. We fought for hours. She apologized later, blamed it on stress, but I couldn't forget it. That's when I first called my lawyer, just to talk through my options. He drew up the papers and told me to take my time. I'd been thinking about it for weeks. That night, I had my answer. My lawyer met me at his office. We went through everything. I signed what I needed to sign. He handed me copies. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. "Yeah." I drove back to my in-laws' house. It had been maybe an hour and a half. I walked back into the dining room. They were having dessert. My wife looked up. "Where'd you go?" You missed dinner. Had to take care of something. I sat down and pulled out the folder. Her sister was still talking. So anyway, this house we're looking at has 4 bedrooms. Quick question, I interrupted. You still think my wife settled for me? She stopped. What? Earlier, you said she's lucky she settled for someone like me. Still think that. My wife put her hand on my arm. Don't do this. I'm just asking a question. Her sister looked uncomfortable. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? That I'm stable, reliable, and she settled? My wife's grip tightened. Can we not do this here? I slid the folder across the table. You're right, we shouldn't. But here we are. She opened it and went pale. What is this? Divorce papers. Already filed. You'll be served officially this week. But I thought I'd give you a heads up. Silence. My mother-in-law's jaw dropped. My father-in-law looked stunned. Her sister was speechless. My wife just stared at the papers. You're joking. Not at all. Over a comment? Are you crazy? Over 6 years of comments. This was just the last one. Her sister finally spoke. Oh my God, you're being ridiculous. It was a joke. I looked at her. Was it? Because your sister laughed. She agreed. She didn't defend me. She didn't tell you to stop. She laughed. My wife shook her head. This is insane. You can't just, already did. My lawyer's expecting yours to call. I stood up. Thanks for dinner. Really opened my eyes. I walked out. Behind me, chaos erupted. My wife yelling, her sister backpedaling, her mom crying. I got in my car and drove to a hotel. Update 1. That was a few weeks ago. Here's what's happened since. The next day, my wife blew up my phone, calls, texts, voicemails, everything. I ignored them. Finally, I sent one text. Contact me through my lawyer. She showed up at the house that evening. I'd already been there that morning while she was at work and grabbed my essentials, clothes, documents, computer, a few personal things. She actually called the police, told them I broke in. The cops showed up. I showed them my name on the deed. We bought the house together, both our names on it, and explained I was just getting my things during a separation. They told her it wasn't a police matter and left. That's when her family really got involved. My mother-in-law left a long voicemail about how I was tearing the family apart. How could I do this over a misunderstanding? Her daughter loved me. We could fix this. I was throwing away years together. Then my father-in-law called. Totally different approach. Wanted a man-to-man talk. Said I was overreacting. Marriage takes work. His daughter isn't perfect, but neither am I. Maybe I need thicker skin. I didn't call either of them back. My wife's brother texted me. Dude, seriously? You're going to blow up your marriage because your feelings got hurt? Man up. Blocked him right away. But the best was my wife's sister. She sent me a long email, apologizing if I misunderstood her. She was just joking. I was being too sensitive and clearly had personal issues that had nothing to do with her. She even suggested I get therapy for my obvious insecurity. I forwarded that straight to my lawyer. A few days later, my wife tried a different approach. She showed up at my office. Security called me because she was in the lobby refusing to leave until she spoke to me. I went down, and we ended up at the coffee shop next door. This is crazy, she started. You're really ending our marriage over this? I'm ending it because you don't respect me. Your family doesn't respect me, and you're okay with that. That's not true. You laughed when your sister said you settled for me. I was uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say. You could have said, don't talk about my husband that way, or that's not true, or literally anything except laughing. She started to get emotional. I didn't mean, you said I'm the steady one, that I know my role. How is that not agreeing with her? I was trying to diffuse it by throwing me under the bus. She was crying now. I love you. I don't want a divorce. You should have thought about that before. Before what? That's when I laid it all out. Every comment her sister had made over the years. Every joke about my job, my car, my clothes, my hobbies. Every time my wife either laughed or stayed silent. She stared at me. I didn't realize it bothered you this much. Because you never asked, never checked in, just assumed I'd keep taking it. We can fix this. Counseling. I don't want to fix it. I want out. She started to panic. What about the house? Our life, everything we built. If we sell the house and split it, the lawyer will handle the rest. Just like that? 6 years means nothing. 6 years of being disrespected means I'm done. I left her sitting there. A week later, her lawyer contacted mine. Her position was that everything was fine until I suddenly snapped at a family dinner. This was impulsive. I'd regret it. She wanted a 6-month separation instead of a divorce so I could cool off and think clearly. My lawyer replied, "No, we're moving forward with the divorce." Her lawyer came back with financial demands, asking for spousal support since we'd been married over 5 years, and she claimed she was planning to cut back at work soon to start having kids. That was news to me. We talked about kids vaguely, maybe someday, but never made any real plans. Definitely no talk of her quitting her job. My lawyer asked for proof and told me they had nothing because there was nothing. Meanwhile, I was getting messages from everyone, her friends, her cousin, even people I barely knew, telling me I was making a mistake, that I was being stubborn, that pride wasn't worth losing a marriage. Not one of them asked for my side. Not one wondered if there was more to it than a single comment at dinner. The house went on the market. That was the one thing we agreed on. Sell it and split the money. Actually, my wife wanted to buy me out and keep the house. Her parents were going to loan her the money. I said no. That house held too many memories of feeling small, of her family visiting and making digs, of her laughing instead of standing up for me. Sell it. Split it. Done. She was furious. Said I was being vindictive. Maybe I was. Maybe I just didn't care anymore. Update 2. The house sold quickly. Nice neighborhood, good price. We split the equity almost evenly after paying off the mortgage and fees. Came out to about $85,000 each. Not bad. My wife tried one last time before everything was finalized. Asked to meet for coffee, said she needed closure. I agreed, figure why not. She'd lost weight, looked tired. Part of me felt bad. Most of me just remembered that dinner. I've been thinking about everything, she said. I waited. You were right. About my sister, about my family. Okay. She's always been critical of everyone. That's just how she is. I got so used to it, I didn't notice how it affected you. Okay. I should have defended you. Should have told her to stop. I'm sorry. Okay. She looked at me, waiting for more. Is that all you're going to say? What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? That we can try again? I shook my head. I don't forgive you. Maybe someday. And no, we're not trying again. Why not? I'm apologizing. I'm admitting I was wrong. You're apologizing after I filed for divorce, after I moved out, after you realized I was serious. You're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry there were consequences. That's not fair. You know what's not fair? Being married to someone who doesn't respect you, who lets their family belittle you, who laughs when someone says you settled. That's not fair. I do respect you. No, you don't. Respect is action. It's standing up for your partner. It's shutting people down when they cross the line. You never did that. Not once. I'll do better. I promise. Too late. Please. I love you. I don't think you do. I think you love being married, having a stable home, having someone reliable. But loving me, actually loving and respecting me? No. I left her there again. The divorce was finalized about a month later. No kids, so it was a pretty clean split. I got a little less because the judge sided with her on some furniture, but I didn't care. I heard from a mutual friend that my ex moved back in with her parents for a while. She couldn't afford to rent on her own right away. Her sister was apparently having marriage problems too. Her husband was tired of her attitude. I guess being condescending to everyone doesn't work out in the long run. My former mother-in-law tried to add me on social media a few months later. I ignored it. My ex texted me on what would have been our 7th anniversary. Thinking about you today. Hope you're well. I didn't reply. A few months after that, I heard she was dating someone new. Good for her. I hope she treats him better. As for me, I'm doing okay. I started therapy. Turns out I'd been holding onto a lot of resentment for years. My therapist said the dinner comment was just the final straw. not the real cause. Death by 1,000 cuts. I'm not dating yet. Not ready. Maybe someday. Work is good. I got that management position. Now I run a team of 4. Better pay, better benefits. I got a dog. Always wanted one, but my ex didn't like animals. He's great. Better listener than she ever was. My apartment is smaller than the house, but it's mine. Decorated how I want. Movie posters on the walls, gaming setup in the living room. It feels like me. Sometimes I wonder if I overreacted. If I threw away a marriage over pride. Then I remember her face when her sisters said she settled. The laugh, the agreement, the total lack of defense. And I remember I didn't end my marriage over a single comment. I ended it after 6 years of being made to feel like I should be grateful she picked me. Forget that. I deserve someone who's proud to be with me, who shuts down anyone who says otherwise, who never makes me feel like I'm not enough. My ex wasn't that person. Maybe she could have been if she'd realized sooner, but she didn't. And by the time she did, I was already gone. Final update. It's been almost a year since the divorce was finalized. I figured I'd give one last update. My ex got engaged recently. I saw it on social media. Different guy than before. Some executive type. Makes good money from what I can tell. Her sister probably loves him. Good for her, honestly. I hope she learned something, though her engagement post was all about the ring and the venue. So maybe not. Her sister got divorced. It finally happened. Her husband had enough, apparently. She moved back in with my ex-in-laws, too. Both sisters living at home now. That must be interesting. My former brother-in-law reached out a while back, asked if we could grab a beer, said he owed me an apology for that man-up text. I met him, mostly out of curiosity. Turns out my ex had told everyone I blindsided her, that everything was fine until I suddenly lost it. She had no idea I was unhappy. He believed her, she's family. Then her sister's marriage fell apart and some things came out. She'd been treating her husband the same way. Condescending, dismissive, superior. He'd complained for years. She'd gaslight him, tell him he was too sensitive. Sound familiar? My brother-in-law started connecting the dots. I get it now, he said. Why you left? She did the same thing to you, didn't she? Pretty much. That's rough, man. I'm sorry. It's done. I'm good. He nodded. You look good. Happy. I am happy. Not in a revenge way. Just peaceful. I bought a small house a few months back. 2 bedrooms, nice yard for the dog. My place. I date occasionally. Nothing serious. A few nice dates, a couple bad ones. I saw one woman for a while, before we realized we wanted different things. All good. Work promoted me again. I'm department head now, 3 teams, good raise, building savings, planning for the future. My parents are proud. My mom says I seem lighter now, more like myself. I guess I've been pretending for so long I forgot what real felt like. I ran into my ex once, totally by accident at a coffee shop. She was with her fiancé. We nodded at each other, awkward half-wave. Her fiancé didn't know who I was. She looked happy, or maybe just trying to look happy. Hard to say. I was just grabbing coffee to take my dog to the park. I felt nothing. That felt like closure. Someone asked me if I regret how I handled everything. If I should have tried counseling first, given her a chance. No. I gave her 6 years of chances. Every time her sister said something and she stayed quiet. Every time her family implied I wasn't good enough, and she went along with it. Every time I felt small and she didn't notice or care. Those were all chances. She didn't take them. The dinner was just when I stopped waiting. People ask if I'm bitter. I'm not. Bitter means you're still angry. I'm not angry. I'm just done. You can't be disrespected in your marriage and call it love. You can't let people tear down your partner and call it family. You can't make someone feel less than and expect them to stay. I learned that the hard way. My ex is planning her second wedding, probably going all out, judging by social media. Her sister's probably maid of honor again. They'll have some big family dinner to celebrate, and I'll be home with my dog, watching movies on my couch in a living room that actually feels like home. That's the real win. Not the divorce, not being right, not watching her family drama. The win is realizing I deserve better and refusing to settle for less. My marriage ended at a Sunday dinner when my wife's sister said she settled and my wife laughed. But the truth is, it had been over for a long time. I just hadn't admitted it yet. That comment didn't end anything. It freed me from something that had ended years before. The best thing I ever did was slide those papers across the table. The second best was walking out. I'm not just the support system, not just the steady guy who knows his place, not the man who's lucky she settled. I'm just someone who finally decided he was done being treated like he was less.